Welcome to Wet Sanding 101 for the DIY guys and gals. Thank you for joining Papa's Old Chevy. Today we are going to be taking a layer of paint off of this old truck, and hopefully you'll be able to see the difference in what we're trying to accomplish, the shiny paint versus the oxidized paint. Let's get it going. What's going on, y'all? Noah here again with Papa's Old Chevy. Welcome back to the channel, and today I am actually back at you with Papa's Old Chevy, and we're doing a little bit of paint work. By we, I mean me, and well, that's what I've been doing for about the last week, and I'm trying to wrap it up today. So let's go over what we're trying to do, and let's see what we're trying to knock out to get this red paint back to how it should look, and back to how it looked when, well, I wet sanded on it, 2 years ago. So what I've been doing is I started with a 2,000 grit wet sand. I went up to a 3,000 in some places, went up to a 5,000 to get those scratches out, added some compound, added some polish, and I'm going to show you the entire process of how we got that done. And the products that are being used to make this wonderful job happen, we've got some 2,000 and some 3,000 grit sandpaper. We've got a 2,000 grit sanding block. We've got 5,000 grit sanding paper. We've got a lot of detailing towels, some applicator pads, new finish polish, and turtle wax compound. Of course, you're gonna need a bucket of water and some source of water to spray on the truck, whether that be a hose or a spray bottle, whatever. Now what you're seeing here is the oxidation that we left behind the first time that we did this, and as you can see, it's pretty rough in some places, and in others it's not as bad, but for the most part, the entire truck is pretty rough. So the goal here is to get all of this oxidation out and hopefully back to shiny. You guys have seen all of the oxidation corners and edges and everything on this truck. Let's get to the wet sanding. So when doing this, as you can see, we've got a lot of oxidation on the paint, and obviously on camera you can't see all of it, but we have a ton of oxidation in other places. So we're gonna get a lot of water covering where all the oxidation is. Step one, make sure you have a ton of water, a lot of water. That is very much so needed. Next, make sure you got your bucket of water. This water I've been using already, that's why it's red. I've been using it on the backside to take this paint off. I've already scrubbed this. That's what was in that time-lapse video that I was talking over. So now we are going to start with the 2,000 grit sand block on this side. Make sure you get your 2,000 grit sanding block super wet, just like you got all the wetness here. And you're just gonna rub back and forth in a straight line, making sure that, well, you're not scrubbing the paint too bad and making any wear anywhere that it's not too far down. But as you can see, as you get to going, the oxidation slowly goes away. I found that it's easiest to do this panel by panel, so we're just breaking this up by the top panel of the door first. 2,000 grit. After we get done with the 2,000 grit, we're gonna take our 5,000 grit, go to the spot we just sanded. We're gonna sand it down and see how much we actually have left to scrub off. And as you can see, a lot of the white is starting to disappear, which is a very good thing. And we don't have too many bad scratches in the paint other than what was there when we painted it last time, or whoever painted this truck before I had it. And this is what you are going to do around the entire truck. Just remember, you need to do this panel by panel, not the entire truck all at one time. Now that we've got the top half of the door sanded, we're gonna go to our bucket. We're gonna get our 5,000 grit sandpaper, and we're going to apply and see how much is left on the paint of oxidation to actually get off, or if maybe I got it all off. Let's see. And this is also what you are going to do around the entire truck, remembering to do it panel by panel, not the entire truck all at one time. This is what you will do after you get the 2,000 grit sandpaper finished, and this is how you will check to see if anything is left behind or if you, well, cleared it all. Accomplished the 2,000 grit and the 5,000 grit sand on the top half, the middle section of the door, and the bottom section of the door, except for that rocker panel, because I got a little rust. I got to replace that. We are now going to apply some compound. Let's see how good we did. When doing the compound, be sure to wipe it all in really good because this is going to remove any leftover scratches that the 5000 could not get away. Now that we've got most of the oxidation gone, I am about to attempt to put some polish on this door. When doing the polish, you are going to apply it just as you did the compound. Rub it all over the section in which you are working on, leave it on there for a few minutes, wipe it off, and when you wipe it off, it should reveal a shiny new layer of paint that was covered by oxidation before. After that's been completed, you can then start to rub in a coat of wax or whatever layer of sealant or coating you would like to add to the vehicle. And one more time for the process, here we go. Spray it down, get you a 2000 grit piece of sandpaper or sanding block, rub it all in, get a layer of paint off, and then after that has been completed, you can then grab your 5000 grit. You can take the 5000 grit, rub it on the paint, trying to get rid of all of the scratches that you just caused. And then after that has been completed, you can dry it off, you can go in, you can add your compound, your polish, and wax it. And then hopefully you'll end with a very, very beautiful and shiny layer of paint. The final product looks a little bit like this. All right, y'all, well, that wraps up the wet sanding on Papa's old Chevy. Now that I have done that for the second time, that is probably the last time that I will ever do that, and I'm hopefully going to be able to keep this the way it looks now and not get any of the oxidation back because I do daily drive it. So hopefully if I just keep wax on it, it should be fine. Side note, if you are planning on wet sanding your old vehicle, remember to do a leveled approach at it. Make sure you do a step-by-step on each of the sanding processes. Start with a 2000, go up to a 3000 if need be, finish it with a 5000, hit it with your compound, then hit it with some polish, finish it off with a wax and whatever other sealant that you think is necessary to keep it shining like need be. Whatever you really want to do. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. I'll show you one more time before we go what Papa's old Chevy looks like. But for now, I am done. So peace. I love y'all. Later, and I'm out. Don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a like, and share it with your friends or anybody out there that is trying to save some paint.